This week on the Push Willows podcast, we talk about onboarding for client nutrition, and probably more excitingly, what is the best way to have each meat and protein product.
Three, two, one. Why doesn't the fisherman go to the gym?
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dan Meek.
Because he pulled a muscle. That was weak.
Yeah.
And me, Tom.
That wasn't your best one, mate. That was not your best one whatsoever.
I'm too busy looking up content to kind of search for funny jokes. So, and you
Funny
can hear
gym-related jokes.
Apology, I'm a little bit nasally because it's just COVID. No, it's like hay fever and cold, unfortunately.
Hay fever. Ugh, minging.
Does that exist in your country?
No, I haven't had it once since being here, and it's really nice to be in hot weather and not feel it as well. By the way, I did think I'd be all right with it because whenever I go on holiday, I never get hay fever. I think in the UK, I think there's something about whether it's the type of grass, type of trees, or something. There's something, or a bush, or some fucking thing like that. I used to get it really, really bad. But yeah, touch wood. Anyway, it's been all right. It's just pollution you got to be careful about over here. Just fumes.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
But
And imagine if we looked up the pollution thing at Dubai compared to London, it might be what we got.
What is it actually? Yeah, I was just thinking that then. I was like, I've never checked on is it on the weather app? Did you check the pollution or?
Yeah, air pollution. So London is 3. I think I've got Dubai. That's how much you mean to me, Dan. I've always got your thing on here. Pollution, I don't know. It's only got UV index.
Yeah, the government might hide it. Do you know what I mean?
There's nothing on the Apple one, whereas it's on.
Oh yeah, the data from Breezometer, isn't it? Breezometer. Shall I see if I can search for Dubai?
So London's a 3 low. Air quality index is 3, which is similar to yesterday about this time. I mean, that tells me nothing.
No, what's yours?
It's
3.
It's green. 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Ours is 174.
Oh, right. I guess that's good.
Which is unhealthy air quality, it says.
Oh, right. Well, this is on a different scale, I'm
good.
assuming then.
It must be a different scale. Yeah.
Yeah. This says health information. Enjoy your usual outdoor activities. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not great, is it? Unhealthy.
Yeah, that's the only thing. What's been going on in your world, my friends?
Not a lot, just been busy, just doing the launch for the Business and Body Blitz, which has gone well. So those of you who are listening, who came to the webinar or been getting the emails, thank you. Come join up, come say hello. 8 weeks of me and Mike helping you through everything. If you want more information, just ask as well, by the way. It's always a good thing. But yeah, that's basically the nuts and bolts of what we've been up to the last week or so.
What have I been up to? I thought I was about to die yesterday. So yeah, that's about it.
It's always good, isn't it?
I thought I might have I'm still not better, FYI, recording this. Just soldiering on, just grinding, isn't I?
Just such a grinder, mate.
Such a grinder. Played obviously golf on Sunday. I did some wine tasting on Saturday, which is always great. I did feel quite a little bit nasally still then. So I do think I'm in the midst of a cold of some sort, unfortunately. And I did some wine tasting. It's good. Golfing. And then I ate some cheese. I believe some mac and cheese. So I got lulled in, right? Because I didn't finish golf till quite late. And then I was just kind of craving. I went and got some chicken. I knew I had some salad. So I was going to come back to that. But then next to the chicken, they got me was some mac and cheese, deep fried bite things. And I was like, oh, I've never had that before. Yeah. Is there finally going to be a way I enjoy mac and cheese? Because mac and cheese is
right. I'm with you. I am with you on this, right? I really want to like mac and cheese.
Correct.
I really want to like it. I feel like that if you had really good high quality pasta, a bit al dente, and you had some really good quality cheddar and a nice cheesy sauce, and it wasn't liquidy and it was thick and it's got potential.
Yeah.
I've never had a good one
in
my life.
like I would rather just have some standard penne and just put cheddar cheese sprinkled over it. That is better, in my opinion, than most mac and cheese I've ever tried. And you can, like, the only way, because I was like, oh, it's got crispy crumb around the outside, that might be cool. I was like, that's where I feel like, because it lacks texture. And like, even if you buy, so like, I've been given whatever the US one, still bad. Don't get it. It promises so much and delivers so little.
So just off on a tangent, right, with this, but I remember that one of my clients that I used to travel with around the world and all that sort of stuff, Tom knows. Anyway, he used to have this dish, right?
Big shot.
Yeah. No, he used to have this dish called cacio e pepe or something like that. And basically it was like, in Italy, it's a huge meat dish. It's basically just spaghetti,
I've had it.
black pepper, and pecorino cheese with a little bit of the a little bit of the water from the thing. And he used to say it was the most incredible thing. He made it for me once and it was just like incredible. And I'm like, so you can do it. This is the thing. I know it can be done. And I just think that Americans butcher the mac and cheese. I think that they just ruin it.
If anybody's in London, there's a pasta shop called Padella. That is their signature dish. There's two. There's one in Shoreditch and one in Borough Market. So good. And it is so good. And it only costs about like £8, I think, £6, I think, to buy it. Padella's, honestly, it's so cheap. It's the most expensive pasta is so cheap because the most expensive pasta on their menu, and this is a quality restaurant, is like £11, £12. That's it. So I always got 2 pastas. I'm like, yeah, and burrata. Oh, see, this is the problem with cheese. It gives me gas. So I thought I was going to die. Basically, I could still have appendicitis. I'm not too sure, but I've read a load of like stuff. And you know how you Google your symptoms and then it just ends up that you're going to die. And then I've also factored in, used my brain. I've like this, because I think I conjoined golf abdominal rotational pain with cheese gas pain and had them both at the same time, which was a new pain for me. I'd had them both separately, but I hadn't had them together. And which it gave the feeling, because obviously I'm right-handed, so my aggressive rotation will compress my right abdominals and obliques, which is where your appendix is. And I was like, shit, my pain has moved away there and stayed there. So I was assuming that obviously I've got appendicitis. But everything I've read about appendicitis is it doesn't tend to, like, the numb pain doesn't stay for like 3-4 days and then gradually kind of chill out. It generally gets worse and worse, and you end up feeling it like you've got knives in you. So I haven't got that. I'm able to function and I slept better. So yeah, we're all good. But yeah, what else I've been doing? Just busy. It's as all the PT coaching. We're still working title. We've been calling them the collectors, our group, but I think it's a bit weird. Sounds like they're collecting money for like charity, isn't it? Like, I'm not
gonna lie to you, man. It does need a bit of work. It does need a bit of work.
It does. Thank you. I totally agree. I'm not calling these people the collectors, because it sounds like they're collecting money for us, which I'd love them to do, but indirectly that's what's happening. And yeah, it's very strange. So yeah, it's monthly 1-to-1 time. So unfortunately, that means my diary looks disgusting. But obviously, I get to speak all these wonderful people. But yeah, it's the first month we're doing them, so I'm doing quite a lot of them, so they get to talk to me. Wonderful. Just to check in how everybody's doing. Good. Everybody's doing pretty well, so it's all good. It's all going well. We've another 3 people have joined the gang, I think. So we're growing nicely, so yeah, it's good. There will be at the end of 2 I think we've got 2 more months, and then we might launch something else, and if there's more premium package, or there'll be an amazing kind of not do it yourself, but more of a cohort group package, much like Dan does. Interesting that. Okay. I mean, it's almost like it works, Dan. It's madness.
Don't be daft.
Yeah, I did also see, Sook sent an email out to the Stridus users about your little seminar as well.
Yeah, he did. Very kind of him as well to do that. So yeah, we had a few people on the webinar. I think it's one of those where on the webinar we obviously announced the Blitz thing, but it was the niche stuff. Like, we had a really good feedback from it, and again, a lot of people took a lot from it. And I think not enough people really go into that. Like, I think it's obviously different if you're 1-to-1 and in person and things like that. And you know, you have to build a very good referral network to get the kind of your niche nailed, I suppose, from that point of view. You kind of train all sorts of people and all that. But with online, obviously, you kind of looking to attract certain people. And yeah, it's just nice to know that, you know, what we're doing has been helpful for people. And we had like 70, I think it was 72 in the end at its peak of people watching it. And then about another 100 have watched it on the replay. So yeah, like it's just stuff that for us is, we don't mind talking about. We enjoy talking about it and helping people with this sort of stuff because it is really important. And yeah, look, and obviously we announced that, you know, with the group coaching with the Blitz thing, it's kind of a case of, well, that's kind of the starting point for it. And then for us, we're going to then take those guys through it and through how you then turn that into, you know, your content, your message, and everything else around it, so that you can obviously get more clients in it, essentially. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what comes of it and what might come of it, what might not. But if nothing else, it was fun. So, you know, you got to take that.
100%.
Lovely. Chuck says we're good at it. That's why I think he sent it out. He was like, yeah, they're good at this stuff. I was like, oh shit. He said to Mike, we've actually got to make this good now. Brilliant. So yeah, that was fine. Bit of pressure. Nothing like a bit of pressure, is there? Eh?
Exactly, mate. Just that's what you strive under for putting, anyway. So we won't get to that. I'm gonna buy Dan a new putter for his.
Don't talk about putting. Why have you bought that? Why have you decided to say that? Come on. Why have you decided that, Tom? That's not nice.
Apparently, I didn't even know, but Dan told me I only did 30 putts. He's 10,000 miles away.
Mate, don't you worry about that. I am eagle-eyed watching. Don't you worry about that.
All right, we're going to go, basically, one of the topics that we had for the not collectors over, I think a few people, and I think one of my clients was talking about it as well, an onboarding process for nutrition, essentially, and how you deal with those difficult people, what Dan would do, essentially, giving some knowledge base. But and then I think this is certainly something that's come up for some of my mentor guys as well, which is training and dieting leading up to annoying park runs and those sports and stuff like that, and how does that start to look? It is something that I'm gonna think along like the group thing. I think I'll announce it here because I might as well if I can keep myself accountable. I want to do a combine kind of thing. Dan knows what a combine is, right?
Yeah. It's where people embarrass themselves in front of loads of other people trying to do these lifts and trying to do these moves, and they struggle at, and then they're the worst one out of the whole cohort. Yeah, that's what I know them as.
So essentially, I want to pick. Yeah, it's a variety of basically tests and stuff like that, and have everybody on a. I don't know. Just you don't have to do it in front of people. Fuck it. Just a bunch of people running a very similar program, like 8 weeks. Would it be improving your combine? Because it's about to be off season kind of thing at the moment. So any kind of sport you play. It'll be an interesting thing, much like I did on the free thing from Fitter. I just want to try out Stridus and see how it works as well. So I think there'll be a minimal fee, but yeah, I want to see how it works more than anything else, because I've started to move clients over to Stridist, and yeah, it has. I mean, just like I think Dan mentioned to me previously, I think it's just as soon as for running kind of coaching, that kind of thing, it does seem invaluable once you've built the system in it. And it's very easy, but it's just a lot of work front end, but what isn't, essentially, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's what isn't. I think we sat down and spoke with Suck and explained like how we currently do things, and we're hoping that again there'll be a few maybe tweaks made to the kind of training design stuff, because I think with a lot of these apps, I think the problem is, and this is across the board. This isn't just Stridus or anything like that, but again, it's one of those where, you know, all you good coaches will know that you almost have to like zoom out a little bit when you're writing a training plan. You have to have, like, for me anyway, I write out the 4 days over the 12 weeks and I plan the periodization of that over a 12-week plan. And I like to look at the certain days, day 1 to day 3, if they're 2 upper days or 2 lower day or full body. And I want to look at horizontal push pulls, vertical push pulls, like squatting movements, hinge movements. I want to know what exercise I've already programmed and whether they're unilateral, bilateral. And when you have a very, very big macro view of it all, you can see it really, really easy, move things around. You can create a good training plan in 10, 15 minutes. Easy. Like if you know what you're doing. For me anyway, don't worry about it. You know, because you can look at it and you know what you're doing. And then, whereas with a lot of these apps, the problem is it's such a micro level that they set like week 1, day 1, go into this exercise, and then you come out of that exercise and you go into then week 2, day 1, and you can't see what you've done on all the other stuff. You can't see any of the progressions. You can't see how it works well. So we're hoping that there'll be an element of not change to it, but just an upgrade to that system, because as far as I'm aware, none of the others do it anyway, because that's one of the big problems with them. I think even Twitter, when I looked at it, it's the same problem. It's that I want to be able to look at on my computer screen the whole 12 weeks, 5 days, 3 days, whatever it is, and see everything, not zoom in on each individual day.
On every single day.
It takes a long time, because we were saying it took about, I think Mike said it's the first time he used Striders. I think he said it took him a bit longer than it would have taken him if he'd have done it on his own way of doing it, and simply because of that reason, that it's global, look at it a bit bigger picture stuff.
And obviously there's the option of like just doing it by type, just like Fitter is or True Coach or anything. But I was like, that's not the selling point of Striders. It goes link into the video, bam, bam, bam. I was like, that's the point of it, isn't it? So that's what I want.
Yeah, I think for me, the client journey element of it is just so much better. The bit, it's the thing, like you can effectively, create this client journey where if you get regular questions at regular time points, you just slot in the educational video, put some text in there. You can even write, if you really wanted to write fucking blogs and shit for them to read at certain time points, and just the way that it's done and the way that they can give you data and the way that that's categorized, the way they can look back on it, and you can automate messages, you can automate elements of accountability within it. They wouldn't know that it's automated.
The automations is the thing, because obviously I'm super intelligent. Obviously, I enrolled myself as a client of myself with a different email, so I could see what the automations. I was the first one obviously seeing what the automations were set up for the plan I did. So it keeps annoying me, which is great.
Yeah. So the thing, for example, so like for me, if I was doing a check-in on a Tuesday, right, and I said to a client, right, I want to get you to progress photos done on Saturday morning for me, I don't text them on a Saturday morning because I forget. But if I'm doing their check-in, I can then just go, right, that week, I go Saturday morning, send automated message, 9 a.m., do your progress photos, done. And it looks like I've sent it, reminds them what they need to do, they don't forget. And those little things, no other app I've seen does that element of it. And you can do that again every single week, and you can change that little nudge. You can change the time of day it's done, time, whatever day of the week. And just really, really simple from that point of view. I think you can, again, plan ahead of time. You can, so if in 4 weeks time you're going to start a diet phase, you go on the calendar 4 weeks ahead of time, you put that note in and go, right, that's when we're going to start it. And you can do that on spreadsheets and stuff. But again, it just gives them a nudge to say, right, do a food shop this weekend, because you're going to start dieting on Monday, so make sure you get some low calorie foods in, some, leaner cuts of meat than you have been getting. And all of a sudden it's just like that next level of like accountability and service without really you having to do loads more work, I think, from that point of view. So it's really, really good, I think, from that point of view. So
wonderful. We'll talk about, because it kind of lays into what we were just saying there on onboarding nutrition, but I thought what would be way more fun, just an idea that popped into my head, Daniel, because fortunately London, I feel like you would have already had this in Dubai, because obviously the Western kind of American culture that they want to implement in terms of food. And over the last week, I have had Popeyes. Have you had Popeyes before?
No, it's that chicken.
It is chicken, correct. And I've had Wendy's, which everybody knows Wendy's, right? But they've only kind of recently come to the UK, and now they're on Deliveroo, more like centralized kitchens, which is the interesting thing. So what they've done is like Deliveroo have like obviously bought like a big, warehouse-based kitchen bit, slapped it in the middle of London, and gone, what brands want to cook out of here? You don't actually have to have a physical shop, but you can be on Deliveroo. Companies like that have decided to do that, which is a great idea, because they get to test the water a little bit more, see what they're
and I suppose the biggest problem for them would be leasing somewhere, right? And the cost of fitting it out. And if they've gone, actually, you don't need all the branding, you don't need all that, you just need your kitchen effectively.
You just need your kitchen, that's it.
Yeah, that's clever
idea, isn't it? But it did get me thinking, Daniel. Okay, so we can cover vegan and whatever, but the best way to have each meat, because I was like, oh, fried chicken, oh, beef, oh, what kind of sauces, what kind of thing do you have? So let's go from the let's not rank them. We're not going to rank them. We're just going to have the best way we would have if you were only going to have, I don't know, that's a different question, isn't it? Your most favorite is a different question to only having this for the rest of your life in this time. Because I guess you'd pick your favorite, but then it might be like, oh, I really love that, but I don't like it in huge quantities. So it's like,
anyway, what we're starting with.
So I think you've got to, do you want to ease in and have an easier choice? I don't think there's any easy choices, to be fair.
I guess
we'll start with beef. In what way would we have beef? Because we've asked, if anybody's new listeners to the show, we have asked previously, what meat or kind of protein products would you have for the rest of your life if you could only have one? And I think we've always gone kind of beef, because you've got burgers, you've got steaks, you've got that, all that kind of stuff. But then, like, obviously pork, you've got bacon, you've got, I don't know, any kind of tenderloin, all this kind of stuff.
I think what sauces? For me,
Daniel, beef. How would you have
the beef? The beef has got to be steak. It has to be. Like, it has to be.
Ruling out burgers. No more burgers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, only because I think, I'm gonna say steak. I think it's got to be, mate. It's you can't beat a really top quality cooked steak. Burgers are great, but they're a fast food. They're always come, cheesy. I just think steak. I'm going with steak. It is the best way it's cooked. It is. You can't argue with that.
It is the best meat. It's the best way. But I'm gonna go different to you, I think. Because I'm a slow cooker fan and smoker fan. So that's more my thing.
Brisket, something like that.
So it's going to be some sort of kind of Louisiana 24-hour smoked brisket, correct? That is what's going to happen.
It's another good dry rub on,
and then I'm going to be I'm going to go with that. I think I would rather, and probably if I were to go burger, because I would rather have that in a bun than a burger. So I'm like, cool, I've got the versatility there. I would have a slab of it, or I'd have like the strips and make it more of a shaving of it. I think
you make a good argument, but I'm still sticking with steak.
Still going with a nice, what do you have, like a big porterhouse, I'm assuming, something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think just Kobe steak, go fucking mad. Why not? It's a dream. It's a fucking dream. We might as well make it a fucking good one.
Absolutely. So we're going Kobe and and we're going brisket. It's got to be like 24-hour smoked, all the carcinogens in there, lovely.
All of that jazz. Yeah.
All right, I put these into, I guess we can just group these as poultry, but we're saying chicken, aren't we? Really, there's no other birds. But
chicken.
I guess I'll let you have duck, in case you're a Peking duck guy or
don't care
a
about
hoisin
that.
duck guy.
Don't care about that.
You're probably not going to go turkey, but you're going to go chicken.
I think you said it at the start. I think fried chicken, but more like chicken tenders with buffalo sauce. Like chicken tenders, like not like KFC fried chicken, like with bones and everything in it. I'm thinking like crispy chicken like that with, again, a bit of buffalo sauce. I just think it's just the nicest way to cook it. I think just plain chicken is a bit boring, obviously. You've definitely got to have breadcrumbs with chicken. You can't just have it plain. There's not really many other ways to have it. Roast chicken, I suppose some people would argue, but I just think it's still a bit too plain for my liking. Fried, again, it's living in a dream world, so I'm going to say fried like chicken tenders, like the boneless chicken tenders, because you're going to have multiple sauces with them. Comes in different ways. Yeah, I think
I think you are bang on. Yeah, I would go 100%. There is a place, where am I going to go for it? Probably there's Bone Daddies. And there is a place for Korean fried chicken. And Korean fried chicken, they're like, it's like, one of my friends was like, it's fried chicken. It's basically like KFC. I was like, fucking not like it. Oh, it's so much fresher. It's so much cleaner, like how it's made. I was like, it's not as greasy. And it's this like sticky kind of sweet, spicy sauce. Oh, so good. Better than buffalo sauce, but you can have your buffalo. I'm going to go Korean kind of barbecue chicken.
I love how you're typing it down like this is going to happen. Like,
oh yeah, I'm going to send you it. I can find you. I've got you on Deliveroo. You're fine.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go pork.
Ooh, see, I'm torn, and you probably know what I'm torn between. I'm torn between pork belly or bacon. They're the two things that I think.
I knew one was bacon, but yeah.
See, now this is the other thing though, because pork belly, because you can still make like shredded pork with it.
I know you use pork shoulder normally to do that, and it's, again, I'm thinking pork belly, but then it's more method of cooking, right? It's not about the section of it we're talking about, right? So then I'm thinking, actually, like, the pulled pork, slow and low kind of way of cooking pork is the best way to cook it. But then I've also had a hog roast, and you get the bun and the applesauce, and oh fuck, pork's, I think I'm salivating more over the pork because I just don't have it as regularly over here.
True.
You can still get it. You can still get it. It's just not as easily accessible. But is it better oven roasted pork belly or slow and low pulled pork? And I'm gonna go slow and low pulled pork.
Slow and low pulled pork.
Because you have the briskets, you're not going to go for that because it's basically the same thing. Whereas I feel like if I go for that with some coleslaw and a bun, it's like my equivalent. So,
see, because I'm gonna go bacon. I'm gonna have bacon. Just because you have bacon, like different cuts of it. I mix between like thick bacon and streaky bacon. I don't have like medallion, like normal bacon that often, like back bacon.
You wouldn't, would you?
Yeah.
It's too healthy for you, man. It's lean,
too boring.
version.
I'm like, I want some. I want some fat on it. All right. Now we move into I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 5 more sections actually. Those are the main meats, though. I think we'd say seafood. Global.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go shellfish against normal fish. It's all fucking seafood, right? It all comes from
Yeah.
You don't call land food.
I think not a huge seafood fan, if I'm honest. Like not huge, but there is one way I do like it, and if I was going to have it cooked one way, it wouldn't be cooked at all. It'd be sushi.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna go sashimi then?
Yeah, I'd have salmon, tuna, mackerel, fatty tuna. Give it me that way. I'm happy. Bit of rice with it. Yeah, that would be the one for me. I think. If anyone chooses the fried fish and chips, like, you're fucking wrong. Don't even start. So British.
Yeah, I think I've got to absolutely concur. I'm a sushi guy. Yeah, I've got to.
Sushi is the one, man. Oh, if it was a bit cheaper, I'd eat it all the fucking time. Like, it's so easy to eat. Do you find with sushi that you never feel that overwhelming fullness of just like feeling ill? Like, I swear to God, if you put the same amount of a plate of sushi in front of me as you did like chips and burger, because it's so fresh and, like, I hate using the word clean, but it kind of what it feels like. It's so much easier to eat more of, and I just don't get that sick feeling.
Slides down, doesn't it? It's like,
it's so easy to digest, and I just feel like it's what we were made to eat. You know, a little bit, like, because it's raw fish. I just feel like you're kind of made to eat it. It just bit of soy sauce, wasabi. Oh, fucking yeah, all day long, mate.
Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna go sushi. I think we agree on that one. That's the only thing we're gonna agree on. All right. I have put here miscellaneous meat. I guess this goes into like game meats. I guess I know Dan is a massive rabbit eater. So that is
yeah, if you're gonna feed me any game or anything like that, it's got to be in a pie. It's got to be in a pie.
In a pie.
I think
so you've got game, you've got like crocodile if you're into that. I guess you got ostrich, you got stuff like that. This is where I might dip back into an ostrich steak.
No chance, mate. No,
you go venison, right? But I think this is up for debate. I'm like,
I wouldn't be fussed. Give that to me in a pie. I'll take that in pie forms. Everyone likes a nice pie, and I can have a venison pie, bit of gravy in there, and I would feel like I'm not missing out. So I'll go with the pie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
an ostrich pie, but I love venison pie.
Ostrich. All right. And again, we're talking protein. Remember, that was the thing. Protein.
Okay.
Egg.
Ooh, Jesus.
And we're both quite passionate about this because we do eat eggs a lot.
We do. I think, have I got to make them, or is it just this type that I can have?
This is a type.
Yeah.
I've not gone freedom every day. And I'm brutally honest. If it was what we had to make, Korean fried barbecue is not the thing I'm going to choose myself to make.
Fair. Okay. In that case, I would have poached eggs. Poached eggs is the one, done well. Scrambled is a good second, but I think that over most. I think omelette, yeah. Fried.
Omelets. What are you on about? Somebody else said that to me. I was like, "Are you joking?"
They're all right.
That is your favorite type of. That is the least favorite. That is my least favorite type of egg preparation. The omelette.
I'm going poached.
Boring.
Poached.
I'm gonna flip it. I will go scrambled. I love scrambled, but runny scrambled. You morons that overcook it, get out, leave.
Yeah.
Hang up. Just delete the podcast now. It's fine.
I don't understand that.
What is going on? Do not overcook your scrambled eggs. A little bit runny. Lovely. Nice. Yeah, then sunny side up and fried and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Just even with a fried breakfast, I wouldn't want it. I'd be like,
no.
Yeah, you're right. I've got enough fried things. Like, give me something that wasn't put in deep fat. All right. And then I guess the last one is vegan option. Is it vegan, vegetarian? Basically, vegetarian option that isn't egg. If I'm honest, but I think that covers most things. If you have
yogurt,
to,
then.
Yogurt. Really, you go yogurt?
Well, I can't think of anything else that I'd want to eat regularly.
Not like I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be protein based, isn't it? That's the only thing. That's why I've caught myself out now, because I would go like some sort of like miso aubergine, but that's not very proteinous, is it?
No.
I did originally write tofu as an option, but tofu is
not a chance.
Gross.
Not a chance.
So I don't know. Yeah, yogurt's a strong one if it has to be, but you can get a vegan yogurt, right?
Yeah, you can.
What kind of vegan cheese? It's just bad, isn't it? I guess we can open this one out to all things vegan.
All plant-based people. Okay, so I've got one to throw at you though, Tom. It's not protein.
Okay.
Have you got any others to go for? Or is that all of them?
That is everything now.
I've got one for you then.
9 categories.
I've got one for you. Right, it's not a protein, but it's important. Potato.
Ooh, that is potato. That is important. Potato, best potato-based product.
Best potato form of cooking. How are you taking your potatoes with all that stuff you've got?
Yeah, because you're gonna be like, I think I'm gonna go like twice cooked roasts. I think so. They've got to be blanched first, and then you roast them up. Twice cooked roasties. I think I'm gonna go roasties. Yeah. I understand there's chips, obviously, and they're versatile in themselves. I guess wedges.
See, I think if I say chips, I think you can go fat, you can go thin, you go extra crispy. I just don't think you can beat a chip. I really don't. But I do like mashed potatoes as well. But then mash is pretty fucking good. It's just a bit too samey.
It's a bit you can't.
I'm gonna go chips.
Like, put in cheese and chive or like bit of bacon in it in mash. Like, yeah. But would you have like sweet potato or normal potatoes?
No, normal potatoes. You can't.
Normal potatoes, correct.
Normal potatoes.
Normal potatoes for all of that. I like a baked potato, but it's not. I'm not eating it for the only potato for the rest.
It's not the only way, is it?
No. Like, I'll go roasties, and or unless there was some, I don't know. What's the like dauphinoise?
Oh yeah, but that's too rich.
It's so rich.
Oh fucking hell! Saying that, we just fucking named all those meats. I mean, you couldn't have steak every day, but if we're going for it, dauphinoise would be. But isn't that not? I don't know. Is that a method of cooking or is that a?
Have you ever had like a potato pave?
No.
A parve, sorry.
Oh, actually, what am I saying? I've completely missed a trick here. McDonald's hash browns. That's how I have my potatoes forever.
Ooh, hash potatoes.
Every day. Every day.
Browns. Nice.
They are incredible. What do they do to them? What do they do to them? What is on that coating that they put? There's something addictive about that. those hash browns. I swear to God.
I don't know. All right, we'll move on because we've ended up spending about 20 minutes on this.
It's important.
So it is. Well, what is also important, Dan, is onboarding nutrition clients, because we'll check back next week and we'll talk about preparing for people to like do events and stuff. And I've got to do a lead magnet for like, what have I got to do? What performance indicators I track and stuff like that. Why not just tracking weights and crap is all great. But yeah, onboarding nutrition, Dan, because obviously everybody that's coming to you, that's what they do. And they've just eaten that in one day, correct? And then they've ruined their life.
Yeah.
So what would you say? So from client day one, they are starting to onboard. They've logged into their Stridist app. They're all excited.
Yeah.
They've got a message from Dan. Here's your link. They're like, shit, I'm on. They're hopefully going to see a little wave-in video of Dan going, hey, or one of the ones he's wearing really close to the camera. Can you start doing your onboarding videos? Like, what's his, Francois Boulage or whatever it is. The train.
With the GoPro thing.
The GoPro right in your face. Oh, please do that. Oh, make Mike do a spoof video of that. He's got to do that. That will fly, surely.
Oh, so funny, isn't that? Get GoPro.
Or just tape your iPhone to its head and like zoom in. Be fun.
You have to use like a fisheye, wouldn't you? You have to use the 0.5 magnification one really close.
Like just do it when he's like working out or like on his scooter. Go to yours. That'd be gold. Giving you ideas. All right, onboarding now. What's the process? What do people find tough at the start? When are they going, oh, you're going to start tracking your calories? What are the telltale signs if you're going to go calories, water? I don't know, start tracking your weight, start tracking your protein, start tracking your veg. What's your go-to? What are you doing?
So basically what we do is they sign up, I send them then a bunch of onboarding videos, which essentially takes them through how to fill in the questionnaire, how to take their progress photos, how to do their starting measurements. So the first 3 things they do. And then I get them to start tracking their calories for an assessment week. So I say to them, this is how you track calories if you've not done it before. This is how to use the app. I just need a rough idea of what you eat and keep a food diary alongside the numbers so we can talk through your food choices and just stick to a normal week. I want to see what you normally do without any intervention, without me telling you anything and what you need to do, just what you've been up to at the moment. And that's it basically. So they have a week there of tracking their food and trying not to change anything. Which inevitably they do because they're tracking their food. So inevitably they're going to change their habits. But the first 2 to 3 days, they often do stick to their normal diet and then they sort of start to get better. And again, it gives me an idea of what they assume they need to do to be better as well. So it's kind of twofold. So it's the one is I get an idea of what their habitual kind of diet looks like. And then the second part of it is that I see what they think they should be doing in order to diet, which either maybe drop carbs, go stupid low calorie, whatever it might be, just have more protein shakes or whatever. And then after that week, I jump on the phone with them and I sort of go, and on that phone call, we basically just, dissect their week and talk through what happened, why they made certain decisions, where they were at mentally when they were thinking about these sorts of things. And then basically from that call, I get a really good idea as to where they're at. And I do, alongside, before that phone call, I'll obviously read through the questionnaire. So they'll highlight any past problems they've had, issues, whether they've tracked before, what diets they've done before, what their goals are and all these sorts of things. And from that, I'll have a pretty good idea on that phone call of what I need to work on, again, based on looking over their assessment week and their nutrition and their food choices, whether they eat too many meals, not enough meals, don't focus on breakfast, grab lunch on the go, don't drink enough water, whatever it is. And then in my head, I kind of paint a picture of, right, the next 10 weeks, these are the things we need to do. But I don't tell them that. I just basically go, right, first week, all we need to do is do this, because on the assessment week, as you can see, you fucked up here and here. Don't use that terminology, but basically say, look, these are things we can improve upon. And then I go through, right, these things you're doing really, really well. So you're eating enough protein. You're actually eating regularly through the day. You're drinking enough water. We just need to be careful at weekends because you tend to eat more calories there. So I'll say, right, this week, what I want you to do is track your calories again. This is a rough idea of where I want it to be Monday to Friday. And then at the weekend, you've got a few more calories to play with, and that's all good. I want your meal composition to roughly look like this. So every single meal, there should be a protein source of at least, depending on what weight they are, 25 to 30 grams a meal. And then we'll say, right, based on what you've shown me in your assessment week, these are the protein sources I would stick closer to, and these are the ones I would stay away from, simply because they're higher in calories and these ones are lower in calories. Any problems, you can text me, blah, blah, blah. Next week, we'll check in, we'll see how you've done with that, and then we'll give you the next thing to work on. They'll then go away, and again, they'll then get some resources around like good protein choices, good vegetable choices, food shop ideas, what things need to be looking in terms of like food hours need to go down, potentially, that kind of stuff. Again, depending on their level of knowledge, right? But that's all kind of covered on the phone call of like what you need to now focus on, what we need to take out, what we need to stop doing. And then also talking about like their emotional response to things. So again, why did they choose that? Why did they go for that? Were they stressed? Were they happy? Were they sad? Are they emotionally eating? And we can talk through that as well. And then usually after that first week, the second week, then we talk about alcohol, because that's usually the thing that crops up then. Oh, I'm dieting, but can I have a drink, or how do I get alcohol in? How do I fit it in? And we then sort of talk through that. So that's kind of how I onboard someone, and it's not too rigid because everyone needs different things, but essentially the onboarding is about 10 or 11 videos, short videos of getting everything set up in terms of what they need in terms of questionnaire, progress photos, measurements, and all that sort of stuff, so that they're not left wondering what to do at any point. That's kind of it, really.
Lovely. What are the, I guess, let's go 2 to 3 biggest problems that people come back with during their onboarding week where you start to go, or they're like refusing to track, or they're refusing to weigh in, or give me for instances?
Usually that they're not tracking accurately. They'll miss out days of their assessment week sometimes. Is a common one. And it's usually because they didn't know how to track something like a meal out or alcohol or something like that. Other than that, again, you shouldn't really have too many things that they don't do, because you should have accounted for that. You should make sure that like you've got it covered, like it's coming, kind of thing. The only thing is maybe forgetting to take their photos on the right day. They maybe leave it 3 or 4 days later or something like that. Measurements, people don't always do all their measurements because they can't be bothered, like to do their arms or their thighs and stuff. Like, again, I don't get people to do measurements, full body measurements every single week, but certainly towards the start, and then after sort of 3 months, 6 months, it's good to get an idea of where they're at in terms of their physique and how much they're growing. Obviously, from a measurement point of view, is useful, as well as pictures. So they're probably the only things, but they doesn't really stop me coaching them, or doesn't make it harder to coach them. It's just a bit like, okay, we'll just make sure we do it this week. From that point of view, because I think it's one of those things where over the years we've managed to just make it really, really slick, and we've taken out anything that we don't use, that's not valuable, that took time, and we've left everything in that is handy and useful. So yeah, it's probably the easiest way of explaining it.
Now everybody's getting summer body ready, Daniel. Give me your I guess, how long we got till summer? You're already there, mate. In the UK. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is still the case, that people will be dieting as of now. What are they going to start doing?
Can't eat carbs, all of them, before marbs. Best thing to do, of course. Yeah, look, if you're looking to diet now for summer, I think there's 2 things you need to think about. Number 1, how much do you want to lose? And number 2, how long have you got? Because that will dictate everything. For example, if you want to lose 10 kilos, it's doable, 100% doable. If you want to do it in 10 weeks, strap in, because it's going to get hard. If you want to do it in 20 weeks, you can have an easier time of it. And I think people just need to be realistic with their expectations that, in this day and age, we see all these numbers thrown around of weight loss and fat loss and, what people can achieve here, there, and everywhere. And it really comes down to, the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? It's not about how much weight do you want to lose. It's not about what time frame do you want to lose it in. It's how much are you willing to sacrifice to reach your goal? So, for example, I could easily help anyone listening to this lose 10 kilos in 10 weeks, unless you're like a 50 kilo female, but I could. But you would need to understand that you couldn't really eat out in restaurants. You maybe go once a week if you're lucky. You would have to make sure you eat pretty much
home prepped food for the majority of the time, you're going to feel lethargic, you're going to feel quite hungry, and you're going to have to move around quite a lot. And as long as you're prepared to sacrifice social events, maybe, time spent out with friends, eating, drinking, alcohol, high calorie foods, it's doable. So I think that the biggest question that people need to ask themselves when they embark on a diet is, what am I willing to sacrifice to achieve this goal? And you need to find a number then that correlates with the amount you're willing to sacrifice. Because if you come to me and say, I want to lose 20 kilos by the summer, I will turn around and say to you, you will not do that. And they go, oh, it's not possible. I'm like, no, it's possible. You just won't do it. And I think it comes back to, again, people throw around all these numbers and all these things and they go, oh, want to lose this amount. And in all honesty, most people are willing to sacrifice enough to lose 5 kilos in 12 weeks. Most people, on average, that'd be a decent amount. They don't want, and that would lead to you not sacrificing your weekends. You could still enjoy your weekends, but you'd probably have to be on it during the week. Most people can do that. If that number moved, like I said, nearer to 10, well, all of a sudden your weekends turn into where you can have one night where you can enjoy a bit of food. The rest of the meals need to be bang on. So that's what it comes down to. And that's what I think you need to ask yourself. What are you prepared to sacrifice to achieve what you want to achieve? And find that middle ground where those two things get closer. Because anything, technically, again, anything is possible. It's not. But when it comes to weight loss, it's a case of, like I said, 10 kilos in 8 weeks, doable. It's doable. It really is. You just won't do it. I wouldn't want to do it. And again, I think this is also why a lot of coaches find it difficult to diet, because they don't have a reason why. They don't have a strong enough reason, because they feel quite comfortable and quite okay with how they look and how they feel about how they look. So they only need to lose 4 or 5 kilos. They don't need to do much more than that usually to feel pretty comfortable and pretty good about their physique, which is a great place to be. And I think that's where most people should strive to be, is that most people that come to me want to lose 30 kilos. And I say to them, this 30 kilos will be the hardest thing you ever do. But once you've done that, you'll never have to do it as hard as that again, ever. That's what she said. It will never be as hard as that. It will always be, well, the 4 or 5 kilos is easy to get rid of. It's easy. So if you get rid of 30 and then put 4 or 5 back on, easy. You can easily get that off, easy, every single time. Very little sacrifice needed to do that. The problem is people's expectations and what they're prepared to do are polar opposites usually.
Yeah. In terms of because I think we discussed it previously, there's obviously a good resource out there. What you were kind of vaguely talking about is the cost of getting lean, right? Which was obviously popularized by PM. And then people bastardized it and was like, oh, it's PM's right. Well, that's awesome. I do a dumbed down version, 100%. I do a modified, more up-to-date version, I guess. It's how I lay out. And you're like, are you willing to do this? No, then you move up a notch. Are you willing to do this? No. All right. Well, you're not gonna look like that. All that kind of stuff. So don't go looking at Athlean or whoever those people are. Who's the guy that you like? That Canadian guy with in the massive house and the car.
Gregor Gallagher.
Gregor Gallagher. Yeah. What's his name? Vino Body. No.
Kino Body.
Kino Body. Yeah. He gets ripped. He's one of your mates, isn't he?
I think you watched my story once. I just had to write that down because I think that's a bloody good quote, and I don't think I've heard anyone else say it. I think it's a really good quote. That's going on my Instagram now. It's not about whether losing 10 kilos in 10 weeks is possible. It's about how much you're willing to sacrifice to get it. It's like, I think
that's way of lifestyle, not like, I will sacrifice my cat or I will quite happily give up.
Of course, yeah.
Will you give up looking after Isabel to lose 10 kilos? Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
So the thing about someone like Kino Body, people need to understand again is, it's easier to maintain a physique like that than it is to attain it. And I've said that before as well. Like, that's a key thing that I think people need to understand. And again, coaches need to get across to their clients a lot of the time. The work you need to do to attain something is far more than you need to do to maintain it. Strength's the same thing. Muscle's the same thing, right? Everything is the same.
100%. Yeah.
It's, to get better is harder than to stay the same. And it's the reason why a lot of people are overweight and a lot of people are unhappy with their physiques is not because they woke up one day and they were 20 kilos heavier after one night out. That doesn't happen to anyone. It's gradual, happens over time. And it's one of those things where it's
most people actually stay the same. Like most people who try diets and they kind of like do the 4 days of the week on the diet and then the weekend they fuck it up. They don't actually gain weight. They just stay exactly the same, but they think they're doing stuff and they think they're working hard. They think they're going to the gym. They think they're doing all these right things, but they're just staying the same. A lot of people, our bodies are designed to stay the same. Like homeostasis is what our body craves. It wants to remain stable and similar. And it's why a lot of people, like I say, just stay the same. And it's why weight gain happens so slowly over time. And it's why people have such a hard time when it comes to dieting, because your body fights you when you diet because it wants to stay the same. It doesn't want to diet. It wants to stay the same. Why does it want to diet? It thinks there's a famine going on. And people, again, don't understand that. They don't understand that you're fighting your body's natural biological urges. You are. Like, that's what happens. And it's also why when you gain weight, your body is unhealthier. It doesn't want to gain weight. It doesn't want to be like that. It wants to be athletic. It wants to be able to move properly. And again, even to the point where gaining weight gets harder. Like, so, you know, if you overeat, just the same way, if you diet down and you're in a 500 calorie deficit, your body slowly adapts to those numbers because you weigh less. So your body requires less calories just to be alive, right? It's just basic physiology. The same happens as you go up in calories. So if you overeat, so let's say your maintenance is 2,500, you overeat by 500 calories a day, you will gain weight until 3,000 is your new maintenance. So you'll gain weight until then your body will go, okay, I don't need 3,000 on my maintenance because I'm heavier. I require more calories to move every day. You've then got to overeat again by 500 calories. So if you then gain weight on that, you get at 3,500 calories. So when people get bigger and fatter, they actually need to eat more calories again to get even bigger than that. And this is the thing people don't understand when it comes to weight gain. And people, I don't eat that much. It's like, well, you obviously do, because you have to get to that point, right? And it's why people who are bigger can diet on 3,000 calories, because their body requires 4.5 at the moment. So they must be overeating by 1,000, say 5,500, you know? So it's just remembering that your body wants to stay at maintenance. It works to maintain where you're at. It adjusts to the environment you put it in. It's just that we change that environment constantly by adding more food or taking it away or whatever. Well, there you go. There's my TED talk.
Beautiful. Well, I gave one last week, so yeah, I was just like, let you go off on one this week. So I'm feeling poorly. All right, mate.
Yeah, people just don't understand. Again, people just don't understand calories. They don't understand this whole thing and the way it works. They don't understand these concepts of like, but if you're getting fatter, you're getting greedier and you're eating more food. Like, you're fighting your body's natural urge. Like, to, it's not a case of like, people say, oh, when I was younger, I could eat 3,000 calories and lose weight. It's like, no, when you were younger, your metabolism was low high because you moved around a lot more. You don't move around anymore. And I'm like, you're not eating 3,000 calories if you're still gaining weight, because you're now eating 3,500 calories. And also, when you're a kid, your mom and dad didn't let you drink 10 bottles of beer every night. And that could be contributing to it. So yeah, people just don't understand it, and they don't get the human body and how it does adapt to these things. I think they just assume that they're set at this one number forever, and that's them. It's not. Doesn't work like that.
It's not. Wonderful. Let's bring it to a close. Good TED talk. Good Dan talk. Nice. I hope everybody's going to go out and find their top 8 protein sources that they'll ever eat. Lovely chat. Got me salivating, and I know all I'm going to have is salad and some stuff now, so it's just going to be fantastic.
There you
go. Because it's also summer, and I feel like you're living this where you feel like you need something light, and it's gotten a little bit hotter here now. But as soon as it goes above 20 degrees here, Dan's like, 20? Are you joking?
I was in the car the other day. And it was 44.
Fuck that. No. See you later. I won't see Dan until unless you obviously might see him in the summer because he's gonna run away from the heat. But I'll be like, I was like, not coming back till October, November time. So enjoy it.
That's it. It's
later.
It's got to that point now where it's a bit much.
It's just hot.
Where
hot,
me and Suk the other day were playing golf, and it got to it's like 11 a.m, like nearly midday, and I don't know if it's because of a mixture of like, obviously it's kind of sandy and stuff like that where we play golf and stuff. I think it's a little bit of that, but it's not all that. Is that when I breathe in from my nose, it feels like I was in a sauna. You know, like the feeling you get when you breathe in through your nose in a sauna. It was like that. And I was like, I don't care, this is warm. Like, it's kind of warm. Like, that's not good. That's how you know. Yeah.
All right, guys. Any other business, Daniel?
No, not for me. Not for me. If anyone's interested in Business and Body Blitz, just send me a message on Instagram. It'll be all good.
and we'll get you sorted. Answer any questions you got.
Wonderful. Right, no other business from me. Thanks for listening, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you later.